Hey guys, Jeff with Maker's Niche here. Thanks for checking out this video. Today we're going to be building a hot wire foam cutter just out of some scrap materials I had lying around the house. So I kind of cheated here at first because this box was already built before this build. It was a monitor stand that I had. Some scrap pieces of trim I had lying around. I know they look rough, but we'll paint those up. Had an alligator clip I'll use. Only thing I had to purchase for this was this nichrome wire, and it's essential for the hot wire foam cutting. So I took the scrap pieces and put them together into this nice little support system to sit above the working surface of the wire cutter. It will hold the top end anchor point. So this needs connected on and screwed together. I made some marks and pre-drilled some holes, and going to screw the upright in. It's really important to make sure the upright is centered as well as possible to maximize your working area. So now that I got this up, I've got my top anchor point. That's just a screw that goes into the end of the trim, and I've marked on the top of the box exactly where the hole would be directly below it. This is going to be used, a scrap piece of wood is going to be used to support my bottom anchor point, which is also just a screw. It will go on the underside of the box directly below the hole. So I had to take the upright off to get my drill in there as vertical as I possibly could. I don't have a drill press, so this hand drill works out perfectly fine. So now that I got a hole in there, I've got a direct line of sight that I can put these two anchor points in relation to each other right through the hole in the box. I want to use this washer to protect the wood as best as possible from the hot wire, so I'm going to use this spade bit here to recess a little notch. Now getting onto electrical, I had this USB cord hanging around. It was an old Android charging micro USB, so I just clipped the end off of it and peeled back the casing about a foot or so. So inside the wire you will find a lot of wires you don't need. You only really need the red and the black wire. So I just snipped these off. I think there was a white and a green one and some internal material as well. So just pulled those off, and now this wire is good to be used. So after some paint, this looks much better, but I'm putting a little hole in the back end of the box here because I plan to use an LED light to indicate when there's power is on and the power is off. That way I know that the wire is getting hot, or the wire is still hot and I may have forgot to unplug it. So it's a safety feature. And here I'm soldering up the connection of the LED light to about midway on the USB line that I have exposed. Of course, red to red and black to black. I'm going to protect this connection as well with some shrink fit covering to make sure nothing's exposed and a danger. So on the other end, on the black end of the line, this will be the top anchor point, or at the top anchor point, I'm going to connect it to this alligator clip that I had lying around, and tighten that down to make sure it's nice and connected. So here I've zip tied the top anchor point in, and I've got my nichrome wire. I'm going to connect it from the top point through the working surface to the bottom anchor point. And we've got to use a spring here because this nichrome wire extends a little bit when it heats up. So to keep it nice and taut for good cutting, I have to put it on a spring and make sure it's under tension. And just clip it onto the top anchor point and run it through the washer and the work surface. So on the underside here you can see I've tidied up the wiring a little bit with some staples, and I've connected the red wire to the bottom anchor point. So now when I put this nichrome wire, I pull it a little tight and then I start wrapping it around the screw. Just wrap it several times there to make sure it can't slip off. On the top end it should be nice and springy and make a little guitar sound when you strum it like that. When we connect the alligator clip here to the top, it will complete the circuit and thus make it good. So here's my first attempt at turning this on. If I plug this into the USB, the light should come on and the wire should start getting hot. And we've got success. Light is on. Wire should be getting hot here. And it didn't really get hot. I didn't let it set long enough, so it didn't really get hot enough yet. And I tried to cut a little too soon. I should have waited another minute, let the wire get a little hotter. So it was a little difficult to cut through this part, but as you can see, as we get through some of these other cuts, it starts to go through much cleaner, much simpler. Now by this cut here, you can see, do a little radial cut. It will just cut through it like a hot knife through butter. And with that, this project is done. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit like and subscribe to get more videos like this. I'll be posting soon. And if you attempt this yourself, please post in the comments, let me know.